almost like baiting it. I mean, they even go Deadwood now with that third pick, who you could argue, is decent against the Salamon. So I wonder. Oh well, not gonna see Salamon on Sync side anymore, at least. So
Why not? Solomon mid.
yeah, or the Suicide Salamon, what Sync used to
Yeah,
be.
that was that's when we used to first start seeing him in push lineups. I think he was played in the off lane. We used to pick him up as a hard carry, and then other teams like Sync, when they would run Ophelia, would pick him up on Keizu and put him in the off lane. So it wasn't uncommon, but it's not something we see nowadays, at least. So yeah, they go the Moon Queen. Nice old school pick for Haxerin. He loves that hero. Um, yeah, fun to see the Moon Queen, I guess.
I mean, they've done it a couple times fairly recently, and it's actually been, excuse me, fairly successful. Didn't you guys run it actually? You guys ran the
We did,
Cersei
but we
Moon Queen.
lost with it, so we haven't had
Well,
as much success as Sync has had with it. But yeah, we actually tried it out ourselves.
yeah, yeah, that was the Cersei Moon Queen combination, and went for there and
Yeah,
enjoyed that there. But I mean, yeah, Moon Queen is definitely, to me, it's like understandable like why we may see her like in moments, because she is a strong carry. I mean, she's arguably one of the best ones in that late game with the glaives bouncing around and everything. And we are pretty dominated by melee carries right now. We've been in that
yeah.
state for a while, and so the range carries is not as strong as a pool. I think it's safe to say, according to a lot of these competitive teams, but Moon Queen's probably up there amongst these range carries. So,
Yep.
what do you got? Like Silhouette, Clanks, and it's kind of
Uh,
it that I could think of, like top tier that you would expect maybe to
it's a
see.
couple
So,
decent ones. Corrupted Disciple, Rakta,
yeah,
Doctor, I guess, Puppet Master. So yeah, she's up there, but yeah, I mean, Sync's one of the teams that if we're gonna see Moonkin, we'll see it come from Sync. So looking forward to seeing that played by Haxer. That right click in the deadlift would be interesting to see if they do go for that.
they were
Haven't
actually
seen
clicking the
Sync play a lot of
keeper.
deadlift.
They were clicking the
Oh,
keeper, but
okay.
it was banned by Fusin there. So, some insight from him. They have ran it a
Really? Oh
couple
wow,
times,
yeah. Keeper and Tempest ban.
taking that away. So, yeah, not. I know that Zlapped has played the keeper a little bit here lately, so understandable. Fusin taken away. You mentioned the Tempest too. Um, yeah, probably will just keep that. I mean, you still got Deadlift. You got Solstice as a hero that he likes to play in that role. So, okay, they fan Deadlift. So it's like they can see what they're right clicking over there.
Fuzin's got hacks confirmed.
Yeah.
Knows what he's doing. I think the keeper ban was actually quite smart because they do have a Deadwood, and the keeper armor onto the Moon Queen would be very hard for BMG to deal with if Moon Queen does get to the point where she is pushing into high ground. So yeah, it's not a ban we see all that often, but Sync definitely could pick up a jungler and it would fit with the Moon Queen quite well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
See which jungler that very likely will end up being, but Sandwraith is going to be the final ban. So you have teams, both teams kind of had their mindset on the specific kind of bans. You got jungle bans by BMG, you got carry bans coming out from Sync. So now BMG's carry options it's definitely a little more limited. There is still Clanks there, for example, though, and obviously they even just ran him last game. So Puppet Master, I know you brought up, is there. So definitely some strong options still that they
Yeah,
can
there's
choose
there's
from.
quite a lot of decent carries still left. Wouldn't even be surprised to see something like a Dark Lady, uh, if BMG does decide to go for a hard carry route. A Doctor Pulsar would fit their lineup quite well, I would say. They have a very aggressive makeup with the Kinesis and the Deadwood, and it's very BMG-esque to go for Doctor or
Mhm.
Puppet Master. They go with the Rhapsody, so going to save their carry pick for last.
That makes sense. Not give too much away just yet, and then also know that Sync's not picking up a carry course at this point. So, yep, good choice there, I think, from Fusin with that Rhapsody pick. So now it's over for Sync of which jungler do they get possibly, and then which perhaps middle hero even. Depends on where they run over on the Midas. Could be middle, could be Suicide. So definitely have
We
open
could still
options
see a
themselves.
Behemoth, which actually was blind banned last game by Sync.
Oh yeah, he's
Still
there.
available at this point. Yep, they're gonna go with the Behemoth. They were shadowing a bunch of different initiators. So the question is, Midas and Behe are both sort of interchangeable in mid and off lane. Um, well, I'm not too sure quite yet where they'll go. It'll probably be a mid Midas off lane Behemoth, but it could be swapped either way. Um, so yeah, they get their hands on the Behemoth, very powerful hero. And we're gonna see Oogie, so I didn't see that one coming. Uh, but yeah, they're gonna go with another aggressive hero, carry that wants to fight. Fits the lineup quite well. They have a very aggressive makeup, and BMG is probably gonna look to take this one early and not let Moon Queen get too big. If she does get to that point of Shrunken Head plus one other item, it could be tough for them.
Yeah, Oogie is definitely an interesting choice to me, and I say that because obviously he's one that he's not as burst heavy as maybe some other carriers, arguably, and again he wants to sustain in fights. The longer it lasts, the better chance he will have of winning fights, you could say. But you got heroes like the Behemoth, like a lot of lockdown as well as
Yeah,
Secret Escape
lockdown
on
is,
top of that. They
yep,
swap from Andromeda, so
yep.
a little skeptical.
Yep, good point. Lockdown is the name of the game for Oogie. If you can lock him down, not let him get those constant casts of Tarquake off, as well as sit on top of you with the Conflagrate, that's how you deal with an Oogie. But they do have a lot of lockdowns, so we'll have to see if the Oogie pick proves to be a good one or not so good in the end.
Yeah. Well, we got the final pick of what was Solstice over there on Sync Esports. So they sure enough go the Solstice pick. They get their jungler too. Kind of gives them a backup carry option, possibly, but especially with Zlapped kind of being one of the few that plays it actually, at least on a consistent basis.
Yep.
I feel like he built it more as an initiator, honestly. Prioritizes the portal key and things like Shrunken and going from there. So wouldn't be surprised if it's along those lines as well.
Yeah, and they have the Moon Queen, which is going to do all the damage that they need as the game progresses. Really no need for Solstice to build like a semi-carry or anything of that nature. So we'll more than likely see the very team-oriented initiation route with items like Portal Key, even something like Abyssal Skull and Demonic could be options for Solstice this game.
Yeah.
Shrunken Head, very important as well. So along those lines for Solstice, definitely we'll see this game.
Kinesis, again in the hands of Boxy. Always a fun hero player combo to see. See, he gets up here ASAP. Actually had those boots and got the war to sight down and block the pole cam. So good start there. I don't know if he was actually seen doing it either. I kind of caught him as he was placing and running. I don't think he actually was seen. So
he got there very quickly, bought the boots, didn't even sell them, so he's going to keep those boots. Gets pulled one blight from Parasite, so he'll have a little bit of lane. Have a little bit of sustain in the lane with one set of regen. He'll probably ferry some more out, very typical Boxy. But yeah, has those boots to start to deal with the pressure coming out from Andro initially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good to see there. So that's the plan for Boxy to take advantage of that and also do his thing where, using that stasis smash as we see here. Or not, the token lift, I guess.
Yeah.
Using that to lift creeps, delay the push of the lane. Result. Zibby's up top here on Behemoth. Interesting stuff there, and that could really catch Kinesis off guard now.
Yeah. He picks up the boots as well, so both offlaners picking up boots, but Behemoth gonna go for the gank on the opposing team's offlaner. Question is the lane position gonna be right? Probably got the missing call from bottom lane that there is no Behemoth, so yeah, this is really smart. If they don't give this kill up to Behemoth, then basically both offlaners are trading 0 experience, so it breaks even.
Yeah, at the very initial when it was going into the lane right here, Behemoth had a very, very slight window to maybe go for the fissure stun, but he started running over. But yeah, Boxy reacted right away, and you see here, that is pretty fun. It's
so almost like Zimi's just upset that he didn't come feed. It's almost like a little frustration, it feels like. But yeah, so Boxy not going to go with that bloodlust, at least just yet.
Yep, so now Zibe's... See, what does he do, though, now on Behemoth? Again, this is what always kind of makes him a interesting suicide hero option, is he tends to maybe go away from his lane very early on, if not immediately, as we see here. But, at this point, there's no way he's trying to go to the bottom lane now. I guess he is going to try to come middle here and maybe try to make a play. But, BMG is very aware. They're very aware that there is a roaming behemoth now, and they're going to be very passive because of it. So, not going to be the best start for Zibe, I think. Kind of
there's like 3 things Behemoth can do. He can either do what he's doing now, which is run around and try to set up a kill in a lane. There's the second thing is he can pray that Balthazar loses lane control, which I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen, but it looks like he's pushing the lane with Darkwake. Probably wants to force Behemoth back down here just so Kinesis can go up top. Or he could use the pull camp, which was blocked, so that's not an option. So he's kind of stuck to this in between the lanes kind of roaming role, at least until the lane comes back bottom.
Yeah. You see middle lane Andromeda even over here for a little bit, possibly again trying to set up some kind of kill, but Make, he's playing it defensive enough. Knows something's up and is going to be fine as a result. Not only that, he's actually last hitting pretty well as on top of that. In fact, 15-5 now compared to an 11-2 Midas. Obviously, Deadwood is a very good last hitter with the hatchet and the log here, but especially knowing the pressure that's being applied, he's overall doing a very good job, I think, on Deadwood here in the middle lane. So, yeah, the start again continue to look pretty solid overall for BMG. Now, there's definitely other factors here, including Solstice Jungle. He's got a nice stack going, and seems like he's farming very well. There's over 300 gold per minute now for Zlapped. 333.
This is so weird. The 2 offlaners are just going at it at the outpost area here. This is I've never seen anything like this go down.
Yeah, they're kind of just amusing one another. They're literally just bored. It's like, what else are we gonna do? Oh, that Fissure completely whiffs.
Oh my god.
So might as well keep it in somehow.
Behemoth's the one who has to be a little careful because he's the one overstepping, map boundaries, so to speak, whereas it's on Kinesis' side.
That's fair, yeah. Oh, top lane, Kinesis.
Level 5 Moon Queen. That's a level 3 Moonbeam, whereas Kinesis is only level 1. Does actually quite a lot of damage at this point.
I think this. Oh, if you went in for auto attack,
maybe went for that. It would have been very greedy in a tier 2 tower.
Yeah.
Especially if any ports came in from a support or something. No TPs at the moment, but yeah, that could have been quite risky, or could have paid off for the Bloodlust.
Yeah, decide it's not worth it. He goes back to farming. So yeah, could have been a Bloodlust.
It's very safe. It's the right decision in terms of it's safe. You don't want to trade your level 5 Moon Queen for Kinesis if it came to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely fairly impressed though. Zlapped, and I don't know if it's just been decent spawns or what, but man, 350 gold per minute here for him playing the Solstice. I know Solstice is a pretty good farming jungler, of course, getting those stacks up in that daytime. You see right there, just easy kill on that creep camp. So, but yeah, very very fast start here. He's got steam boots already, in fact, here in the jungle. So on his way to getting so I said portal key, something like that, as we we're talking about. And I actually wonder if he may go for Alkbones, because they are going against a Parasite here on the Legion side.
It's not unlikely, and since the pace of the game, at least right now, it's still very early, has been very slow, and Alkbones wouldn't be out of the question, at least until we start to see some more aggressive play coming out from BMG's side. Yeah. Remember, they are the side with the aggressive makeup, want to force those fights before Moon Queen and Solstice get too big. So yeah, it's not out of the question to see an Alchemist Bones, definitely. Level 7 at 5.5, doing very well.
Yeah. Great start there. You got Moon Queen freely pushing the top tower in the meantime. Oogie was doing the same here at the bottom, but actually going to rotate into the jungle now. And, they got a nice triple stack over here, so that would be why. Yeah, there goes Balthazar, activates his Primal Surge even, and going to do that. But meanwhile, top tower going down, so very similar to last game, very passive start here as far as things go. And again, not a big surprise, but good observation to make, I think. Deadwood, middle lane, taking a transmute is going to be fine, but Midas now really starting to apply some pressure. But again, Deadwood being level 6, it is a very scary thing to witness here on the other side, or know that that is the case, so got to be careful.
Yeah, the biggest thing is as long as Midas has this combo not on cooldown, he can get hit with a grasp, and as soon as Deadwood walks at him, he can just combo him. So Midas, it's actually really hard for him to die to a Deadwood just solely one-on-one. He is very tanky, has about 1,000 life. Wow, only 6 minutes in, that's super tanky. But yeah, it's a really tough target even for a Deadwood to kill at this point.
Yeah, speaking of that, Maka is actually going back to base right here for some regen, so I wonder if he's going to maybe try to port set, but there's not really a whole lot on the map. I mean, just looking at the mini-map here, it's not like an obvious spot. It's like, oh, maybe they're pushing up bottom, you can maybe port there, try for a kill. Like, there's nothing, so yeah, he is just going to port back middle and continue farming here. Again, we're just continuing the trend of a very passive game. In fact, to that, man, look at Behemoth. He has Striders, but he's still level 1. As I say this, they're going to try to make a play, but it just doesn't matter. The backup's here, and so not worth it to go for it. So, yeah, Zibe, again, that's like a decent thing about Behemoth, of course, is that even at level 1, he's still fairly useful because of that fissure, but they need some levels on him. It is a pretty obvious thing to say, I know, but yeah, being level 1 at 7.5 minutes, not good.
And BMG's done a nice job of rotating their carry into the jungle very early, so that gives the bottom lane to Kinesis, who is level 1 for so long. Whereas Behemoth, he's kind of still stuck at level 1 because Moon Queens wanted to stay up top and absorb that lane, and they have Solstice absorbing the jungle. So there's really just no room at the moment for Behemoth to take up.
Yeah.
Whereas the Kinesis is at least getting a little bit of space. They are wanting to prioritize at least getting him level 6 so that he has that combo, that burst combo to have available. So that's good for BMG's side. It is nerfing Parasite, however, whereas the Solstice is doing very, very well. But yeah, gonna boost Oogie for sure, taking out stacks.
That's a good thing to bring up, though, I think. Yeah, Mycero only 260 gold per minute, so yeah, he is being slightly nerfed here, and the star's kind of showing for that, so keep an eye on how he progresses. I thought I saw, I think he might have sold it and changed his mind, got a Blood Chalice at least for now, but I think I actually saw him right-click the Alch Bones earlier for a split second, too, so
yeah,
I think
I saw it as well.
He
changed his mind. I don't know if he bought the pattern. I think it must have been the pattern because he had only bought the Chalice at the time, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he's probably just gonna go for Portal Key, maybe Bones later if they feel they need it. We'll have to see.
Oh, falling back from the top lane there. Again, 9 minutes in. We had our Bloodlust at, I want to say, around 7.5 minutes the last game. 9 minutes into this one, still no Bloodlust kill as, oh, look at this, the Ancients, Oogie. Now they know he's doing this. Solstice just used his W right there, the Illuminati, and he's going to ultimate on top of that, and Oogie's going to fall most likely. Yes, he will. Bloodlust kill in favor of Zlapped. Yeah, you know they're thankful that the Ancients didn't kill him because that would have been pretty brutal, but they get the kill, and they steal the rest of the Ancients. Huge start here now for BMG. Because of that, so
Sync.
Sync,
yeah,
I mean, yes.
Yeah, that's a big kill going out onto Oogie, and I don't know if he finished the icon or if he just bought his second piece. Probably still needs the last piece, the pickled brain, for his icon. So gonna slow down him quite a bit. That's a really big kill, and that buys a couple more minutes to where Sync can continue their passive farming, and BMG can't force any aggression just yet. Really big kill.
Yeah, and again, the timing right there, it really couldn't have been more perfect. You go over there 30 seconds later. Like, if you're Solstice, if you rotate over there 30 seconds later,
right.
He's already killed the Ancients, he's triple stacked, he's back in his own jungle now, continuing to farm, not worried about that death. It really is crazy just knowing these early swings and how much it can have that impact, how much it could definitely affect things. And start that snowball, of course. So, yeah, seeing a Solstice, man. I know he plays this hero, from game to game, but
there it is, the outbones. And it makes sense because the game is at a point where they can just sit back and do this. BMG has really no momentum at the moment. They just finally got their level 6 on Kinesis, so maybe he can look to start making something happen. But yeah, it's just very passive at the moment, and why not? It's going to be useful in terms of getting Parasite out of cannons, and eventually, if he does go for a puzzle box, which isn't even going to be coming anytime soon, I don't believe. Yeah, it's kind of like, why not?
Got Moon Queen. He just got a quick blade, I think, so going to be going pretty traditional here, it seems like. Does have a Whispering Helm. Going to be getting the Firebrand, 440 gold per minute, which, again, very good herself, but not even top on the team as they go back to that Solstice, who is another 1,500 gold saved up, and yeah, the Portal Key coming along very nicely. Midas just about having that here and now as well. In fact, there we go. There's the purchase for him. So, going to have that, and then Solstice, again, very likely in the near future. You got Deadwood is just about there himself, 1,900 gold. he hasn't been able to really make much of a play yet. He's been farming a lot here in the middle lane. It goes back to just being the kind of the game itself of pretty passive here. But yeah, you'd hope for their sake that definitely get that portal key and being able to kind of get some openings because of that. So we'll see if he's able to use that Willowmaker or not effectively. Coming up here in the near future. But Baltazar is just about finished that Icon of the Goddess now after being delayed by a little bit there. 30 gold saved up, so. And then Kinesis, I guess, has picked up a little bit too. Now 1,000 gold, he's level 7 as well, so.
Yep. So yeah, Deadwood has the portal key around the corner, but Moon Queen actually has quite a lot of armor with both the Whispering Helm and even a Ring of the Teacher picked up, sitting on almost 16 armor at the moment, which is very, very high. So even if he is the focus of choice for Deadwood, it will be a pretty tough target to bring down, even with only 1,000 HP. Gets the Firebrand delivered, doing quite well, almost 500 gold per minute, as well as the Solstice.
Yeah, having 16.5 armor, geez, that's 17.9 when he's on agility steam boots even.
Yeah.
Into that, so yeah, quite a bit. And yeah, that's one thing about Whispering Hell that maybe gotta say, like, I know that obviously exists on the item, but it's not something you really think about when you get Whispering Hell. Obviously, the lifesteal's a big thing, being able to take over creeps. But yeah, a nice little 5 armor chunk on top of that. It's pretty good for this early game.
Armor is a lot of armor. Yep.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Kinesis smoke top lane. This could be a bait though.
Oh.
Swap him out.
Well, he's gonna find out really quickly that his attempt was all for naught. Oh my gosh, he is gonna get the turn kill onto Andromeda, and actually Parasite is gonna go down as well though. The double tap for Haxerin. So yeah, the idea was to set up a gank perhaps on the Behemoth especially, but it completely backfired. So many heroes were nearby that they did not expect. And we see the end result there. So well in favor of Sync. However, middle lane Midas did go down actually. Just caught that here. He actually did fall.
Oh yeah, Mickey actually went down. But yeah, the biggest thing about when you go for plays like this in the top lane is that BMG doesn't have a tier 1 tower. So TPs can't come in and be there nearly in time from heroes like the Deadwood and the Oogie, as well as the Rhapsody, to where they can look to turn that onto heroes like the Moon Queen. Whereas Sync does have the tier 1 tower, so had that started to go bad for Sync, they could all port in immediately. So it's very tough to make plays like that when there is no tier 1 tower for your team.
You see bottom lane, speed of tier 1 tower. Oogie trying to push it. It's going to come at a cost, though. He won't even get the tower kill close to it. And he's also in trouble, but he's got that Primal Surge, and he's actually going to stay alive and now set up some turn with his teammates. No, Behemoth will barely survive as well. Wow.
So close.
That was, and in both sides, really. But
unfortunately, not having mass control was the difference. Would have maybe even gotten a double kill had he had the ultimate there.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. Almost lost cooldown.
Well,
Oogie does stay alive though, big picture. So that would have been very, very bad for BMG had he fallen once more.
In the meantime, though, Moon Queen is just openly doing his thing, and you see Parasite is up here in the Hell Cannon, but not too concerned is Moon Queen, especially with Andromeda right next to her. He's another 2,000 cold saved up with the Firebrand, the Whispering Helm, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, do you think he probably should just get that Shrunken Head now next, or even the full Geometer's Bane? Which direction would make sense to you at this rate?
Had the game been more even, where BMG would be looking to pressure more, I think Shrunken Head, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Haxerin go full Geometer's Bane and then go to into Shrunken. But yeah, if had the game been a little bit more close, I would say Shrunken Head for sure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to teamfight whatsoever into an Oogie, a Kinesis, etc. He's going to TP bottom and go for some stacked Ancients, so yeah, I believe he just flew out the full Geometer's Bane. Or no, he's not sending it out just yet. I believe he purchased something though, so I believe it to be the full Geometers.
Look at this, so here we go. Yes, he is going to be jumped, but he has support immediately. The swap out and Behemoth being there, and now Deadwood, he's in trouble. He goes down. They killed Andromeda, but look at Moon Creature's coming back in. Moon Finale's up. However, a lot of Ancient, so not going to get really much of that. Oogie's trying to still make a kill happen, maybe get this Behemoth, but it's not worth the chase. In the background, though, Boxy gets picked off. Rhapsody now in trouble. You see Solstice and Midas. They're taking advantage of Oogie getting a little too tunnel vision there. Double tap for Mickey, and now Oogie, he's in so much trouble. He's trapped in the Ancients over here. He's trying to just run through the trees, maybe get over the cliff. Is that going to work? It's probably not in the end. Zlapped just like, I'll show you how it's done. Hat trick coming out for Mickey, and a genocide in favor of Sync Esports. Ay, ay, ay. That's not gonna be looking good now for BMG moving forward here.
Not at all. Wow. Not at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was a greedy play by any means. Just simply the fact that this happened twice now, both at the top lane and now over their Ancients. BMG thinks they have a chance maybe to go for a jump and a kill, and the supports again we see right there. Andromeda, the nice swap, and she's gonna even stay alive for now. Probably gonna die in the end. There we go. But
left for dead, unfortunately. But yeah, nice swap guarantees Moon Queen does survive.
Yeah, they're on top of this support here with Behemoth and Andromeda especially. And now you got a Storm Spirit on Midas. Having to worry about on top of it all. So.
Yeah, and I like it a lot. It was the item that I said Midas should have picked up the last game. Like it a lot better than a tablet per se, because tablet obviously won't work if they are immobilized through the rotten grass from Deadwood. So Storm Spirit very good this game. I like that a lot.
Solstice. 1,300 gold saved up. Again, he really has come together very nicely. To realize we're only 18 minutes into the game is what makes it that much more impressive. 540 GPM, though.
This will go on top of Portal Key Alk Bones. Yep. I think Shrunken Head will probably be his follow-up.
Makes sense there.
Gnome's Wisdom on Biggie.
Initiator idea. Gnome's Wisdom? Yeah, okay.
Just purchased it, has it flowing out.
Ooh.
What level is the puzzle box? Probably could be level. No, I think it's level 1, almost level 2. Not quite 300 gold per minute. Top lane.
Hey, guess what happened?
Another beautiful swap.
Andromeda's here, and now Behemoth is here with this new portal key. A double tap for the team of Sync Esports. It really is just deja vu at this point. Sync is just always, you think you have a chance, don't think that, because clearly somebody's going to be nearby. As middle lane, Solstice trying to make a play on a Rhapsody. Now he's having to deal with Parasite, though. But now, actually, with Midas coming over, Parasite's the one that could be in trouble. He's going to avoid the initial nuke. It is not enough, though, but the Protective Melody can't save her either. So Rhapsody goes down. Oogie, he's like, I'm going to try to make something happen. Has that Probable Surge, but now locked out onto him. And now Oogie, too, is going to fall. Solstice actually stayed alive that whole time. And GG, well played, they say. We got game number 2 in favor of Sync Esports, and thus the series 2-0 for them. So, well, Sync, definitely the question marks coming into today of just really curious with a little bit of a break here how they would be and perform a tough opponent against BMG. Honestly, almost like they didn't skip a beat. They really played very well today. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, definitely.
So
definitely did.
Went for them. Your final thoughts on that game, though, and the series here, what you got?
Final thoughts, Sync able to get away with their very passive pseudo tri-lane with the jungler and the hard carry. BMG had a very aggressive makeup, however, wasn't able to, at any point, really translate their heroes into any momentum for themselves. So I think just not really getting a good start on Boxy was actually quite a key. They, send their Behemoth top, so they trade Behemoth farm for Kinesis farm. However, it was more significant, whereas the Kinesis wasn't getting anything. So no snowball factor being able to take place for BMG. Sync just keeping the game passive and, keeping it where they wanted it. So heads up to Sync, and really well played in both games.
Absolutely.